I'm Michael, a 38-year-old architect in Seattle, and this is the story of how my wife, Lauren, thought she could destroy me with her lies, and how I made her regret it. 12 years ago, we fell in love in college, built a home in Queen and planned a future together. I thought we were a team, but then I found her secret, and everything changed. It started with small clues. Lauren's late nights at client dinners in Bellevue. Her phone always locked. Her coldness when I tried to talk. I'm not the paranoid type, but something gnawed at me. One night, while she was working late, I needed her old laptop for a project. That's when I saw it. A hidden Instagram account, filled with photos of her laughing with Ethan, a wealthy client. The captions? My real happiness. My heart sank. My wife was cheating. I waited for her to come home, my hands shaking as I held the laptop. Lauren, what the hell is this? I demanded, showing her the screen. I braced for tears, an apology, anything. Instead, she smirked, her eyes ice cold. Michael, you're boring. You sketch houses while I'm out living. Ethan's a real man, rich, ambitious. You're just not enough. Her words hit like a punch. 12 years. And she thought I was nothing? You're throwing away our marriage for this guy? I asked, my voice breaking. I'm done hiding, she snapped. I'm filing for divorce, and I'll take half your firm, your savings, everything. Ethan and I will have the life you never could give me. She thought she'd won. She thought I'd crumble. But she forgot one thing, our prenup. When we got married, Lauren insisted on a clause. If either of us cheated, the other got 60% of our shared assets. She thought I'd forgotten, or maybe she thought I was too weak to fight. She was wrong. I called my friend Sarah, a top divorce lawyer in Seattle. Mike, this is airtight, she said, reviewing the prenup and the screenshots I'd saved. She's got no idea what's coming. Lauren's lawyer, Greg, strutted into our first meeting at a downtown cafe, all smug confidence. Michael, let's make this quick, he said. Lauren gets half your firm. I leaned back, calm. Did she tell you about the prenup? Or her affair with Ethan? His face froze. He didn't know. I slid a folder across the table, messages, photos, proof. You might want to rethink your plan, I said. Greg stammered, caught off guard. But I wasn't done. I knew my reputation in Seattle's architecture scene carried weight. Lauren thought I was a nobody, but she was about to learn the truth. I walked out of that cafe with a fire in my chest. Lauren thought she could humiliate me, take my firm, and walk away with Ethan. She was wrong. I wasn't just an architect sketching houses. I was a man who built his life brick by brick, and I wasn't about to let her tear it down. My lawyer, Sarah, was already prepping our case. Mike, her lawyer's scrambling, she said over the phone. Greg called me, practically begging for a settlement. They know the prenup's ironclad. I smirked. Let them squirm. But Lauren wasn't done playing dirty. A week later, I got a call from an unknown number. It was a woman, her voice low and nervous. Michael, you don't know me, but I work with Lauren. I'm risking my job, but you need to know. She's planning something. My pulse quickened. What do you mean? I asked. She's forging emails, the woman whispered. She's trying to make it look like you cheated first to void the prenup. Check her work laptop. She left it at the office. Then she hung up. I didn't hesitate. That night, I met Sarah at Lauren's office building, where her colleague, a junior designer named Tara, let us in after hours. I'm only doing this because Lauren's out of control, Tara said, handing me the laptop. She brags about Ethan like he's her ticket to millions. I powered it up, and there it was, a folder labeled personal. Inside were fake emails, drafted to look like I'd been unfaithful years ago. The dates were doctored, the language staged. It was clever but sloppy. Lauren underestimated me again. Sarah, this is gold, I said, forwarding the files to her. She's trying to frame me, but she left a digital trail a mile wide. Sarah's eyes lit up. This isn't just a defense, Mike. This is an attack. If we show this in court, she's finished. But I wasn't ready to play that card yet. I wanted Lauren to think she was winning, to let her arrogance build before I pulled the rug out. Days later, Lauren called me, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "Michael, let's talk," she said. "I know things got heated, but we can work this out. Come back home. I'll end things with Ethan." I could hear the lie in her voice. She was desperate. I played along. "You want to fix this now?" I asked, keeping my tone neutral. "I'm done with him," she lied. "We were happy once, right? Let's try again." I almost laughed. She wasn't sorry. She was scared. Ethan had dumped her, just as I'd heard from Tara. He wasn't thrilled about being dragged into her messy divorce. And now Lauren was cornered. "Lauren, you think I'm that naive?" I said. "You're only calling because Ethan bailed, and you know the prenup's against you." She gasped, caught off guard. "That's not true," she stammered. "I just want us to be okay." But I was done with her games. "Save it for court," I snapped, hanging up. Her fake tears didn't move me. I'd spent too many nights questioning myself, wondering if I was boring, if I'd failed her. Now I saw the truth. Lauren's betrayal was her failure, not mine. Sarah and I spent the next week building our case. The forged emails were a bombshell, but we had more. Tara gave us screenshots of Lauren bragging about her plan in a private chat with Ethan, not realizing her colleague had access. "She's so cocky," Tara said, shaking her head. "She thought no one would dare cross her." I also found bank records showing Lauren had funneled money from our joint account to fund her lavish dates with Ethan. Every piece of evidence tightened the noose. The day before our court date, Greg called Sarah, sounding rattled. "Lauren wants to settle," he said. "She'll take 20% and walk away." Sarah laughed. "Tell her to dream on. We've got proof she tried to forge evidence. If she wants a fight, we're ready." I could imagine Lauren's panic, her perfect plan crumbling. She thought she could outsmart me, but she didn't know who she was up against. I wasn't just fighting for my firm or my money. I was fighting for my dignity, for every sleepless night she'd caused. As we prepared for court, Tara dropped another bombshell. "Lauren's been meeting with a shady guy, some private investigator," she texted me. "I overheard her saying he's digging up dirt on you. Be careful." My blood ran cold. Lauren wasn't just forging emails. She was desperate enough to play even dirtier. I didn't know what she'd try next, but I was ready. She'd underestimated me for the last time. The courtroom smelled of polished wood and tension. I sat beside Sarah, my lawyer, as Lauren walked in, her chin high, dressed like she was auditioning for a movie. She thought she could charm the judge, but I saw the flicker of fear in her eyes. She knew I had her emails, her lies, her betrayal. Today, I'd make sure she faced the consequences. Sarah leaned over. "Mike, we've got this. Her forged emails and the bank records are bulletproof. She's got nothing." I nodded, my jaw tight. I wasn't nervous, just angry. Angry at Lauren for thinking she could ruin me. Angry at myself for ever loving her. But today wasn't about anger. It was about justice. The judge, a stern woman with sharp eyes, called the session to order. Lauren's lawyer, Greg, looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. He started with a weak argument, claiming Lauren deserved half my firm because she'd supported my career. I almost laughed. Supported? She'd spent our marriage belittling me, calling my work small time. Sarah stood, calm but lethal. "Your Honor, we have evidence of Ms. Lauren's infidelity and attempts to manipulate this case." She presented the prenup, the screenshots of Lauren's secret Instagram, and the bank records showing her siphoning our money for her fling with Ethan. Then came the bombshell. Sarah slid the forged emails across the table. Ms. Lauren also attempted to fabricate evidence, claiming Mr. Michael was unfaithful to void the prenup. These emails, found on her work laptop, were doctored. The judge's eyes narrowed as she reviewed the files. Greg's face turned red, and Lauren shifted in her seat, her confidence cracking. The courtroom went silent, the weight of her lies hanging in the air. But Lauren wasn't done. Greg stood, clearing his throat. "Your Honor, we have new evidence. Mr. Michael engaged in questionable financial dealings, undermining the prenup's validity." My stomach twisted. This was the private investigator Tara had warned me about. Greg handed over a folder, claiming it contained proof I'd hidden assets to cheat Lauren out of her share. I glanced at Sarah, who looked unfazed. "Objection," she said. "This evidence is unsubstantiated and irrelevant unless verified." The judge agreed, ordering a recess to review the documents. Outside, I grabbed Sarah. "What the hell is this? I've never hidden assets." She smirked. "Relax, Mike. Tara tipped us off about the investigator. I had a friend at the bank pull your records. They're clean." Lauren's grasping at straws. But I wasn't so sure. Lauren was desperate, and desperate people do crazy things. I called Tara. "What do you know about this investigator?" I asked. She hesitated. "His name's Vince. Lauren hired him to dig up dirt. But he's shady. I heard her tell him to make something up if he couldn't find anything." My blood boiled. She wasn't just lying. She was trying to frame me for a crime. Back in court, Sarah turned the tables. "Your Honor, the defense's new evidence is fabricated. We have testimony from a witness, Tara, who overheard Ms. Lauren instructing her investigator to falsify financial records." Tara took the stand, her voice steady. "Lauren told Vince to create fake documents. She said, if we can't find dirt on Michael, make it up." The courtroom gasped. Lauren's face went white, her hands gripping the table. Greg looked like he wanted to disappear. The judge wasn't impressed. "Ms. Lauren, this is a serious accusation. Perjury and evidence tampering carry heavy consequences." Lauren stammered, "That's not true. Tara's lying." But the judge wasn't buying it. Sarah sealed the deal with a final piece of evidence, a text from Lauren to Vince, pulled from her work phone, saying, "Make it convincing. I need Michael to look guilty." The judge's gavel slammed. "Enough. I've seen enough." The ruling came fast. The prenup stood. I got 60% of our assets, including my firm. Lauren got a fraction, barely enough for her condo in Tacoma. Her attempt to frame me backfired, and the judge warned her about potential perjury charges. As we left the courtroom, Lauren grabbed my arm. "Michael, please," she begged, tears streaming. "I made a mistake. Don't let me lose everything." I pulled away. "You lost everything when you betrayed me," I said. "You thought I was weak. You were wrong." That night, I got a call from Tara. "Ethan's gone for good," she said. "He's dating some influencer now. Lauren's a mess." I didn't care. Lauren's world was crumbling, but mine was just beginning. My firm landed a new project, a waterfront development in Seattle. I moved into a new place, a sleek condo with a view of the Sound. For the first time in years, I felt free. Lauren thought she could break me, but I broke her lies instead. Justice wasn't just served, it was mine. The courtroom victory was sweet, but it wasn't the end. Lauren didn't just lose our assets, she lost her mask. I walked out of that Seattle courthouse feeling lighter than I had in years. My firm was safe, my dignity intact, and Lauren's lies were exposed for all to see. But she wasn't done trying to claw her way back. She thought she could rewrite the story, spin herself as the victim. She underestimated me one last time. A week after the ruling, I got an email from a mutual friend, Claire. "Michael, you need to see this," she wrote, attaching a link to a local blog post. There it was, Lauren's sob story posted on some lifestyle site. "My ex-husband destroyed me," the headline read. She painted herself as a devoted wife, claiming I'd manipulated the prenup and framed her for cheating. She even hinted I'd bribed Tara to lie. My blood boiled. She was still playing the victim, trying to salvage her reputation in Seattle's social circles. I called Sarah. "Can she do this? Lie publicly after the judge ruled against her?" Sarah's voice was calm but sharp. "She's digging her own grave, Mike. This is defamation, and we've got the court records to prove it. Want to hit back?" I thought about it. Part of me wanted to sue, to drag her through another legal fight. But I was tired of her games. "Let's wait," I said. "She'll trip herself up." Sure enough, Lauren's post backfired. The blog's comments were brutal. "Check the court records," one reader wrote. "She tried to forge evidence." Another, her own colleague, exposed her lies. Tara, bless her, had shared the truth with a few coworkers, and word spread fast. Seattle's a small world when it comes to gossip. Lauren's socialite friends dropped her, and her clients started pulling contracts. She'd built her career on charm, but no one trusts a liar. Then came the final twist. I got a text from Tara. "Lauren's trying to sell her side to a podcast. She's pitching it as surviving a toxic marriage. Be careful." I laughed out loud. A podcast? She thought she could spin this into fame? I tipped off Sarah, who sent a cease and desist letter to the podcast producers attaching the court ruling and evidence of Lauren's perjury attempt. The producers backed off immediately. "We don't touch legal messes," they replied. Lauren's last-ditch effort to play the victim was dead on arrival. A month later, I heard through Claire that Lauren had moved to a cramped apartment in Tacoma, barely scraping by. Ethan was long gone, chasing his next fling, and Lauren's reputation was in tatters. She tried calling me once, leaving a voicemail. "Michael, I'm sorry," she said, her voice shaky. "I messed up. Can we talk?" I deleted it without responding. She didn't deserve my time. Not after the lies, the betrayal, the forged emails. She'd made her choices, and now she was living with them. As for me, I was done looking back. My firm landed a massive project, a sustainable high-rise on Seattle's waterfront. I poured my energy into it, sketching designs that felt like a new chapter. I bought a condo in Belltown with floor-to-ceiling windows and a view of Puget Sound. Every morning, I'd sip coffee and watch the ferries glide across the water, feeling a peace I hadn't known in years. I even started mentoring young architects, sharing lessons I'd learned the hard way: trust your instincts and never let anyone dim your worth. One evening, Tara stopped by my office with a bottle of wine. "To your victory," she said, raising a glass. "And to Lauren learning her lesson." We laughed, but I didn't feel vengeful anymore. Lauren's downfall wasn't my doing, she'd built her own trap. I just held the mirror up to her lies. "You ever think about forgiving her?" Tara asked. I shook my head. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. She showed me who she was, and I'm better off without her. Looking back, I realized something. Lauren's betrayal didn't break me, it made me stronger. I'd spent years doubting myself, wondering if I was enough. But fighting her in court, outsmarting her schemes, taught me I was more than enough. I was a man who built things, homes, dreams, a future. Lauren thought she could take that from me. Instead, she gave me the chance to rebuild better than ever. Now, when I walk through Seattle's streets, I hold my head high. My firm's thriving, my heart's healing, and my life's my own again. Lauren's out there, somewhere, living with the consequences of her choices. Me? I'm living with the freedom of mine. A year had passed since the courtroom doors closed on Lauren's lies. Seattle's skyline sparkled outside my Belltown condo, a reminder of the life I'd rebuilt. My firm was booming, with our waterfront high-rise project earning awards and new clients lining up. I found my rhythm again: long days sketching designs, evenings mentoring young architects, and quiet mornings sipping coffee by Puget Sound. The pain of Lauren's betrayal had faded like a bruise that no longer ached. But life, I learned, always has one more surprise. One crisp fall evening, I was at a networking event in Pioneer Square, shaking hands with developers and city planners. The room buzzed with chatter, glasses clinking, and the hum of ambition. Then I saw her, Lauren, across the room, working the crowd. She looked different, thinner, her smile forced. She was pitching herself as a consultant, handing out business cards that screamed desperation. Our eyes met, and for a moment, the noise faded. She froze, then walked over, her heels clicking on the hardwood floor. "Michael," she said, her voice softer than I remembered. "Can we talk? Just for a minute." I wanted to walk away, but something held me back: curiosity, maybe, or closure. "1 minute," I said, crossing my arms. She took a breath, her eyes darting. "I know I hurt you. I was wrong about everything. I'm trying to start over, but it's hard. People know what I did." Her voice cracked, and I saw it: regret, real this time, not the fake tears she tried before. I didn't feel pity, but I didn't feel hate either. "Lauren, you made choices," I said. "You thought you could play me, frame me, take everything. You lost because you underestimated me." She nodded, biting her lip. "I know. I see you now, your firm, your success. I was blind, Michael. I thought Ethan was my future, but he used me and left. I'm paying for it every day." Her words hung there, raw and unfiltered. Part of me wanted to gloat, but I didn't. I'd already won. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. She hesitated, then pulled out a folded letter. "I wrote this months ago but couldn't send it. It's an apology for everything: the affair, the lies, the forged emails. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just needed you to know." I took the letter, its edges worn, but didn't open it. "I'll read it later," I said, my voice steady. "But this changes nothing. You don't get to rewrite the past." She nodded, tears welling, and walked away, disappearing into the crowd. That night, I read her letter. It was long, messy, full of regret and excuses. She admitted to the affair, the greed, the arrogance. She described losing her clients, her friends, her confidence. "I see now what I threw away," she wrote. "You were the best thing I had, and I destroyed it." I set the letter down, feeling nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just a quiet certainty. Lauren's words couldn't undo the nights I'd spent questioning my worth, but they didn't need to. I'd already answered those questions myself. The next day, I met Tara for coffee. She'd become a friend, someone who'd seen me through the worst and cheered me through the best. "You saw Lauren?" she asked, eyebrows raised. I told her about the encounter, the letter. "She's still trying to control the narrative," Tara said, shaking her head. "But you? You're untouchable now." I smiled. "Not untouchable. Just free." Tara leaned forward. "You ever think about what's next? Not work, life? Love?" I hadn't, not really. Lauren's betrayal had left scars, but they were healing. "Maybe," I said. "But whoever it is, they'll know me, the real me. Not the boring architect Lauren saw." Tara grinned. "Good. You deserve that." A few weeks later, I spoke at a local architecture conference, sharing my story, not the divorce, but the lessons. "Trust your instincts," I told the crowd. "Build your life with intention, and don't let anyone tear it down." Afterward, a young architect approached me, her eyes bright with ideas. We talked for hours, and for the first time in a long time, I felt a spark. Not of romance, but of possibility. Life was moving forward, and I was ready for it. Lauren's letter sits in a drawer, unopened since that night. I don't need it anymore. Her apology was her burden, not mine. Seattle's my home, my canvas, my future. I built it once, and I'll keep building it, brick by brick, stronger than ever.